Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Combo number 2, episode 4. I'm Tom Flores, and I'm here with...
Alexander Morris.
All right, and today we'll be talking about...
The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, we just saw again. I saw for my second time tonight, and then Alex here saw for his first.
Yeah, Tom, I gotta say, coming right into it, this movie was really left field halfway in. Like, the beginning was like, ooh, Scooby-Doo, scary, mysteries to be solved. And by the way, I gotta say, one location, pretty impressive to sustain the whole entire movie.
Oh, yeah, because you don't need that much. It's almost like a bottle episode for a movie. Almost. Like they're just in the same place.
I mean, they could have used half of the setup, like half of the room that they were in, and it still would have been good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I liked it for this one. It wasn't all over the place like most of his films, except Reservoir Dogs. The Reservoir Dogs did show a couple other set locations. This one I like.
Tarantino.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, man, and there was a lot of monologues actually in place, which I thought were
it's a Tarantino movie. There's going to be those monologues.
I'm just saying. I thought that was cool. It really popped out to me as strange as the writing was.
Especially the left field monologue.
God, man. My eyes are burned.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, makes you see pictures, don't it?
Oh man, that was signature line right there. I gotta admit, So I mean, if you'd ask me my opinion on this.
Yeah, what's your opinion?
And like in a blank slate, because we could do this thing for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
If you're gonna ask my opinion to break it all down, but a yes or no factor, I'm gonna give it a yes because it kept my attention. It was a little slow at times, but I still liked it.
I think because I understand what you mean by the slowness, because this one was a dialogue heavy for me. Yes, there was action, but not as much action as we've seen so much, or like, fast movement going on with the action. This one was you're just listening to people talk and have conversations, and there's 8 people, so there's like 8 people grouped in different ways, every conversation going on.
Yeah.
That's probably what you felt like. Well, I know you didn't like the opening credits.
No, man, I didn't, man. It was slow. I actually almost pulled out my phone.
I think you did pull that.
Yeah,
you did pull that.
I was like, "What's my email?" Because this ain't going anywhere.
Well, I think why this one was definitely had that long feel opening, because like again, for this movie, you want to bring it back to like the glory days of cinema, where it was an event going to see just one movie, the roadshow feel. So you had that long opening credits, like Gone with the Wind, Spartacus, 10 Commandments, Ben-Hur, like that feel. So that's probably why, and that's why it's pretty different, because in this generation we expect,
we're not patient,
and we expect something to actually be happening story related while the main credits are still going. Like while the opening credits are still going, we expect the story picking up right then and there at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it was like director of photography. Oh, special effects going into, and I was like, are we gonna list everyone in the movie already? Is it over before it even starts? Oh, and by the way, Gone with the Wind, really? Gone with the Wind. That's where we're gonna go with.
Yeah, it's classic. Yeah, I like it. It's a good way to go. Bring it back, to bring it back, because that's for people of this generation who say they love movies, to really appreciate, you gotta appreciate what helped develop to what we see nowadays. Without certain things back then, we're not going to have certain things right now. Without those innovations, those new ideas, those new stories that paved the way for these type of movies we see.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at my phone. No, man, it was good. I mean, like, dude, the monologues just defined it for me.
What was your favorite? Was it Left Field?
It wasn't Left Field.
Okay.
That wasn't the one. I actually liked In the Horse Carriage, and I thought this was really cool.
Which one? They are in it, but like the very beginning.
No, there was no monologues in that, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like which horse?
So when we had all our main characters, we had the sheriff.
No, they're all bounty hunters. Oh, the would-be sheriff.
Yeah, I'm saying the would-be. So okay, so let's paint him as what he would be. Okay, so the would-be sheriff. We had John Ruth, the Hangman.
I like that that paid off in the end too. There's a lot of things that paid off in the end. We had...
then we had Major Marquise Warren, the bounty hunter.
That was cool.
Yeah.
What was the way they're showing? Like the head? Like they're always focused on his head too. That was interesting.
Well, I liked, when they're all in there, and then they have Daisy, the prisoner. They had everyone in there, and I don't know how it was done, as far as shooting-wise, but when they all took their point in how the war went down.
Towards the yeah, okay, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, in the horse-drawn carriage.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm remembering that.
Yeah. And they all take their piece. Even Daisy, gets in on a stab. Mm-hmm. And so, they each take their little monologue, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm just talking politics," and then that was it. But it still showed what was great. It still showed the time lapse of being in the carriage for hours. Oh, okay. So a feeling being in a space
that's very so close confined,
yeah, with people that you may or may not like, mm-hmm. and you can't trust them.
No.
The only thing that's keeping the bond together between the two bounty hunters is you protect my 10. Okay, I got you. 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really
and they're cool. The only ones carrying guns too.
Exactly.
That's yeah. I like you're right when he was like, I'm just talking politics. When Warren came close to the gun, he's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna pretend I'm going to sleep here.
Yeah.
I liked his character, the way he moved and everything. Like he was like a little feminine, like a little dash of feminine with his movements. Like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Like I like that added mix in with that character from the get go. And then him saying he's about to be the sheriff too of the city, the town they're heading into, Red Rock. I love that.
Well, the cool thing, I watched a couple of interviews on him, and he's a very, very serene and humble person. He goes, if you were to tell me as a child that I was going to be in a room with all these amazing, legendary actors, when I was a child, I would have told you need to get mental help.
Damn.
And he goes, it was a feat to take this film on. It was an appreciation. And this is the would-be sheriff. Mm-hmm. So it says a lot. Not only being, maybe not I don't know about the youngest one on set, but definitely revering Samuel Jackson, Kurt Russell.
In the career, youngest, newest still in the career, I guess you would say. Not the youngest, but
still fresh.
In the
being business. Able to grow. Well, he grew up on them.
Yeah. And he was able to hold his own against them.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as the signature characters, the very poignant characters, mm-hmm. we could bet that he's the youngest.
Yeah.
Next to Kurt Russell and Samuel. But it was just, it was really cool seeing that. And then that's what drove, at least me, to want to go see the movie. Just him in the interviews.
Oh, so basically the build up leading into this, like with watching so much. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
And those were my favorite monologues. Not only it's painting pictures now, huh?
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Towards the end of that monologue. Yeah. Yeah. The first, I think it was probably chapter or 2 with the carriage from the get go was nice, and I like how this one, like most of his movies, are in chapters. Like chapter 1, chapter 2, like Inglourious Basterds was like that. I know Pulp Fiction didn't say chapter, but it broke it into they just said the scene before they went into the scene, like the title. So I did like that. And I felt that was fun, especially the title name, like Son of a Gun, Daisy Dominique's Got a Secret. Like those are just great chapter names.
And I have nothing against Tarantino. Mm-hmm. But I think when he does stuff like that, or like obnoxious background noise, that it's like, okay, I get that there's something serious here. I get it. It's so obnoxious and it's so signature that it actually throws me out of the movie. Okay. I actually come back and I'm like, okay, I'm watching a movie. Can we speed this up? Like this noise that's in the background, like when they were nailing the boards. Yeah, no. The walkway to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
He had not spooky music, but climactic music.
Yeah. That to match the storm coming in.
Yeah, that threw me out. Okay. Same thing with having the chapters. Same thing with having the narration. Every single time that fourth wall comes in, it threw me out of the movie. Unlike in movies like Wolf of Wall Street, when you talk to the audience, it kept me still there.
Because you'd rather be in your face more a little bit if you're going to break the wall. If you're going to break the wall, break the wall all the way.
Yeah. Don't
destroy
poke
the wall.
A little hole.
Destroy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just that's the only thing that I'm like, Tarantino, I've never liked this.
Okay.
I've never liked it.
Okay.
And just because it throws me out of the movie. But what about you? Because you've seen it twice.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, which was actually the first thing I noticed is because when I first saw it, I did go and see it in the 70 millimeter.
Okay.
And seeing it now in standard, I can really see the difference. It's almost like when you first watch Blu-ray, you can't go back. When you first watch 70 millimeter, you can't go back. I was looking at the quality, I'm like, oh, it's not as beautiful. This the scenery and the picture. Damn, it was really beautiful the first time I saw it. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm seeing it in a different format. All right, like I definitely see that. That was the first thing I noticed right there because most of the shots are of the landscape, so you really know it's up in the mountains, snowing. It's cold. Everything's like the trees are dead almost. There's no leaves, so it's like that's this. Oh, when he does those shots of that. First of all, that was beautiful landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that is wow, that's breathtaking. But then to see the difference in the format quality, I was like, okay, I get that. I understand why he was so gung ho about it. The other thing I did like though was Kurt Russell's character as John Ruth the Hangman, because I saw a lot, like not a, I'd say not a lot, but I saw almost like a sprinkling of another character he played that was a Western character. He played Wyatt Earp in Tombstone, and I saw a bit of that the character in John Ruth. Not as more because John Ruth was more of like a bulldog, like because they called him a bastard, while Wyatt Earp was more reserved and calm. But there was those moments where you could see it, especially in his blue eyes, those like signature blue eyes he has.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I saw. I did like how he had a bigger, more of a mustache, bigger beard and everything, and I did like the relationship John Ruth had with Daisy Dominic, his prisoner, because he hated her. He was sending her to her death. He wasn't even going to watch her hang. He was hitting her with the butt of his pistol. He elbowed her in the nose. He's roughed her up. He obviously gave her that black eye that we see from the get-go.
Yo, black eye.
But he does take care of her in those in between those moments of beating her up. Did you notice that he took care of her? Like, hey, would you like some was it snake juice, like the alcohol? Would you like some? And then when he uncuffs himself so they can eat properly, he gets her chin because she's got a little food on her. He takes care of her. Like he feeds her the jerky. He's like, all right, I got. So it's like they got this. It was an interesting relationship, which was really great to see, and that's why I really.
It's funny you say that because I don't think he played the part of exactly a non-human. Like this just brutal guy. I'm just doing it for the money. Just doing it for
not a full bastard.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I mean, he had heart in him, and he was gonna take care of what his $10,000 investment.
Yeah, he was dead set on that too.
No, he was, and that's what carried it to the end. What I even thought was something cool is when she played for him, even though he was dying.
She knew he was about to die.
Yeah.
True. It's like she almost gave him a little something.
I'm going to give you just this small thing. No more music.
And she was like, hey!
And then she's like, no, John. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when she goes to cuff him back. She's like, I don't want to be next to a dead guy. I want to be...
Yeah.
Or when,
shut up!
Or like when he's... or in another moment kind of like that when he's introducing himself and Daisy to the rest of the place. He's like, this here is Daisy Dominic. I'm going to lead her to hang. And she's like playing around, pretending to be hung. He just looks at her like, I can't take you anywhere.
I wouldn't have been surprised because his movies are always very gory. That John wouldn't have gotten... Because we do see a certain, not intimacy, but power move.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he took her into the corner and excuse me guys, I gotta handle my business real quick.
Rape? Are you saying rape?
Yeah. I wouldn't have been surprised.
Just from what you were saying?
Well, I mean, he cleaned her up. He, allows her to play for him.
So you thought that there meant more than...
No, I didn't think there was going to be more.
No, I mean like between, and that was saying more about the relationship.
Yeah, I just thought that he was going to go to a bed after he got his coffee, his snake juice. I got my eats. Now I'm going to relax for a second. Because the movie was going so slow. So I thought we're going to see a second of him going to bed with her.
I didn't catch that because I saw him with a man of like code and morals. That's why, like because he looked at her like as a disgusting piece of filth.
But see, the thing about it was that with all the things that he did for her, if she's a disgusting piece of filth, I would have thought that he was able to, I don't really care. Especially when he said, "I'm gonna let that colored nigga, beat you and then laugh at you." So like it.
Okay.
I saw him as not a total bastard, but at the same moments,
You were waiting for that
I was
legit
waiting.
bastard moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was.
Right.
I didn't see a code exactly with him. I saw he wanted his money, no matter what, and I get my money this way. In the interim, that's all up to me. I'm gonna enjoy this.
Okay.
He makes it a point not to, because he could just punch her in the face. No, he decides to elbow her. He could just smack her, give her a good bitch smack. No, I'm gonna pistol whip you so that the blood runs down your head and I can watch.
Okay, so that's you. Okay.
Right. So it's a very power move type of movie. Every single move made by a character to another character is to try and initiate power.
Okay.
What Samuel does to even start the conversation with, the old man commando, or not the commando, but
the
general.
Yeah.
A power move every single time. Oh, who are you? What? Oh, Baton Rouge, yeah. I was there, and you could already see in that character development that he was going for power at that moment. Warren,
okay.
Because if you remember,
Warren,
no, not.
Yeah, that's his last name, Warren. Yeah, Warren.
Yeah. If you remember, his strict instructions were to not talk to anyone.
Oh, yeah. The general was not supposed to say anything.
And that was his power until Warren came into the picture.
Because they weren't expecting him. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
they had two factors that they were not expecting.
B. Dottie.
Yeah, you like that. B. Dottie.
B. Dottie.
Say hi. Good evening. No, good night. Thank you. Good night. Maybe your name.
Okay.
Okay, because
so that was everything was power again. Everything was power. With most things it's about power, but with this it was about power. Warren telling him the story about his son, if it's true. See, and that's the cool thing about this film as well. We don't really know what's true or false.
Because so much is said.
Yeah. Everyone's a liar in their own right.
And in their own way. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I get what you mean. So that's why.
I think freaking Kurt Russell was the only person
telling the truth?
Yeah.
I liked his glasses. Like, he made him look so grandpa-ish.
So bifocal and all. Man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that's why I thought, if he's the one that's telling the truth, hey, I need to go blow off some steam. That's the truth. And I got this prisoner
for this character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For his character, I'm gonna be real, tell the truth, and I didn't know how gory or bad it was gonna get.
Oh yeah, I liked how so far left field. It went I feel like that's a new left field.
Yeah.
And that's a new territory in left field.
And it was weird because it just they talked about it, and then they never brought it back up. I was waiting for him to go, I don't know.
Did you really do that?
No homo, whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with gay, and Samuel Jackson could be gay.
But this wasn't being, that was a power move.
It was a power.
That wasn't about being. Yeah. That wasn't a sexuality thing. That was a power move.
Yeah, he was doing it. He's like, I'm laughing while and he gives it a different name every time. Johnson, what was it? Danish? No, not Danish.
It was like Doodle. It was like Doodle, but not Doodle.
Something like that. Yeah. But he gave it a different name every time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He never said dick or penis. That was so cool about it. He always said Johnson, Pecker, and then it was like Doodle, but I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was cool. He gave it a different name, and every time to hit it in there.
No pun intended. And that was really bad. And then he shows his eyes. Imagining the sight of it,
and I like how and then Samuel Jackson, his eyes were just so expressive with it. Every time you open, you see like the white of his eye, just like
Because he wanted him to pick up the damn pit. I mean, he put it down so smooth, like
Mm-hmm.
he had already been
in that part of this. In that part of the story, when Samuel Jackson's character Warren comes in from the storm, he recognizes the general off the bat, and that's where the wheels turn. How am I going to do this? I'm going to kill this guy because that Bruce Dern's character for the general, he did fight for the Confederate side, but he did more than that. He literally just killed black people. Like that was more of his focus as a general. And so Samuel Jackson knew about him, so that's why he wanted to kill him, but he couldn't yet because it wouldn't be in self-defense, and there was witnesses. So that's why he told him the story of what he did to his son and put a pistol right next to the old man so he could pick it up and protect himself, defend himself.
Oh, that was so. What are you doing over there, Warren? I ain't doing nothing, you son of a bitch.
And me and this man shared a battlefield together.
Yeah, you're gonna acknowledge me that? And it's like, no, we're not actually having this kind. Like he softened him up right there, between those two. But again, dude, everyone had their pairing. Everyone did. That also was unique and inherent that I think that could be overlooked easy.
Okay, like we'll talk about that. The pairings.
Okay, so
there's the obvious pairing of John, Ruth, and Daisy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad we got that one out.
That's the obvious
literal
in your face.
And figurative.
They're literally chained together.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Warren has two pairings.
Okay.
Okay, he has one to the general, and it's so ironic. And
different sides, different colors, different everything.
No. I'm going to explain why it's ironic in a second. His other pairing is to the Abraham Lincoln letter, whether it's fake or real.
Okay.
Because Lincoln stands for the North. Warren, the North. Everything, the North. Okay. But at the same time, he did kill his own men.
Oh, in the carriage ride when we hear the story, he killed Northern soldiers. Yeah.
Yeah. So then there's this whole literal wall that they make up of Georgia and Philadelphia.
When they set up the grounds for the haberdashery.
Yeah, and so it's like the war is between those two. I mean, he dies eventually, yes. So that kills off the one pairing of there, and the other pairing. This one was a little nice and subtle, but it was of Joe Rogue and the sheriff.
Joe Cage
and the sheriff. Yeah.
Really, you thought they were a pairing?
Because from the get-go...
Oh, he hates him.
He hates him.
The sheriff hates him.
Yeah, it's not until he has a gun in his hand that he's like, and you poisoned it!
The ugliest one did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, and then he goes, I knew it!
What? Joe, okay, whatever the fuck his name is. Okay, because I was thinking you were going to say Oswaldo, the British guy. But okay, because that was
his pairing is with Bob.
Oswaldo, him and Bob?
Yeah.
I feel like Bob doesn't really have a pairing.
Well, see, and those are the two that, I mean...
because they're kind of left, because they're not strictly with anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. I get what you mean now by that subtle last pairing.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's the pairing there. And then...
Because Bob and Oswaldo kind of just move around more.
They understand one another. They talk a little... No,
I mean not with each other, I mean with the room. They move around the room.
That's but when they are communicating to one another, and they do in subtle moments that kind of give it away now that I really think about it.
Okay.
Especially when their backs are against the wall, who's up against the wall.
Okay.
And who's next to one another, actually. Better yet.
Oh,
Oswaldo and Bob.
Okay. So they're more of... Okay.
And...
They're the background pairing. The background. Not the subtle, they're the background.
But when they're next to one another, I mean, they're calm and collected. They really don't fight with one another. They really don't... They just understand each other's place. Okay. Especially when we find out that they're in a gang. They understand each other's place, even in death.
Okay.
Oswaldo understands Bob.
And even Oswaldo's the one who talks about Bob after his Bob. Okay. All right.
It's the subtle pairing of the movie.
I like that.
What I think is also really, really something kind of, nice that we get from Joe Cage is that he doesn't talk much, yet I'm just a cowboy. There's more.
I like how they gave him a lot of more moments that I wanted to express more, because even when they do the flashback of how the day set up, and he's checking out that one Jody. No, it wasn't Jody. It was Judy. Judy. He was looking at her with affection. Not more of like that's my target. I'm killing. It's more of like, damn, she's a cute girl. She's beautiful, and not in a creepy way. More of like a
no. It actually almost
he wants
clouds judgment.
He wants to butter her up. He gives her a peppermint stick, and he's like actually flirting with her. I mean, he's got to kill her, but he's like, you are breathtaking, and like, if I wasn't in this moment, if we were somewhere else, different place, different time, I would court you right now.
Yeah,
I would have the flowers and be all kind of nervous with you, but yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why I like with Joe
he even
King.
hesitates when he kills her. Well, when he does the
second,
finishing.
yeah.
The finishing. Well, because I mean, she even clings on to him.
Yeah, and then holding on to his...
And he looks down. He doesn't take the shot right away. He looks down. Some of his buddies. And then shoots her.
Yeah.
I mean, normally how it would go is, you'd save her.
The setup, yeah, the normal.
And then you'd have someone in the gang who's not quite, in the gang.
Yeah.
But no, everyone was steadfast.
He just was like, all right, bite your tongue. Mm-hmm. You got a job to do, You're here for a reason. Just bite your tongue. Okay.
I thought that was something.
I like how it was, what, one little moment? I know it was like not even part of the story, but 5 cents for 5 peppermint sticks? Like, damn!
What?
Get a lot for your money. 5 cents for 5?
Yeah.
And that was good quality sticks. Like, they look like that perfect glass almost. Like that. I'm like, 5 cents? You know how many I could buy right now?
Well, dude, and that's the thing. I mean, okay, so now we have striding off topic, but not off topic.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Dollar Tree. The 99 cent store is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say, besides tax or whatever, because that's too much for
yeah.
this right now. But, so that's 5 cents for, 5 sticks. At the Dollar Tree, instead of 5 cents, it's $5 for 5 sticks.
Okay.
So inflation from, 100 years? 200 years?
That was right. It's like, I think it's 2 years after the war, 3 years after the war. 18... Saying closer to 1870.
Yeah.
Because it's not even 1870 yet.
And they want to
64.
They want to leave to Mexico, and Mexico
the gang,
Mexico had California till 1883.
Ah.
So I was just
explained why Bob was in the group too, because it's like Mexico.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, Mexicali.
I like how Bob. Another moment, because we're talking about little Sallys, and this is going back on topic. Almost how there's a moment of the actors playing these characters, and these characters are playing a part too, as we see, because after, like, for example, Oswaldo's character, he's definitely one who's hamming it up, filling the room. He's the actor in the gang. He's the thespian in the gang.
Thespian.
Because when you see earlier in the day, after they kill everyone in the haberdashery to take it over and get it set up, his accent changes, his mannerism changes, more just like, at first he's all like, fancy and proper, a little eccentric, but then he's all like cool and aloof British.
Yeah, he does.
And I like that. And I like that. And kind of with Senior Bob, there was a quickness of that. Like, when Senior Bob gets into character, he's definitely playing a stereotypical Mexican. And so I thought that was cool how these actors are playing characters who have to play a different part, like who have to act. So that was a cool little subtlety to see that, because I was like, oh, that's so cool. It's Tim Roth, the way he talked in Pulp Fiction in this movie.
Well, then would you say, I mean, this might be reaching.
What?
That Tarantino's creative genius only goes so far.
What do you mean by that? Like, I mean, everyone's genius goes far, but what do you mean by this? What? With the actors playing characters who act? Well,
I mean, a director's vision is what usually gets criticized in a movie.
Okay.
Stereotypically.
Okay.
And us as critics, I want us to look at all points.
Okay.
So obviously we have our producers, we have our line producers, we have our actors, we have our cinematographer, we have our director, and the list goes on.
Okay.
But so let's
as you saw in the opening credits.
It's not all of them, but so with his vision, it's similar. How many similar traits would you say this movie has with Django Unchained?
Oh, a good amount. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like actually, since you brought that up, when I was talking to Travis about it, it's to me it felt like his ending of his Civil War era movie stuff, of his Civil War era movies, because it began with Django Unchained before the Civil War, and now we're seeing the Hateful Eight after the Civil War. It's like that's this whole Civil War era movies we just saw, just those two.
Okay.
So I get what you mean, that similarities, because it did hit, even though they'll say a little more deeper with racism and people hating blacks and how blacks hated whites and what you got to do to survive when you are black facing America. So okay, so
or even better yet, you brought up Pulp Fiction earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How many similarities would you say that are in seeing this movie, which you saw twice,
mm-hmm.
with Pulp Fiction?
Similarity.
Yeah. And I just want to see it from your take because you
actually okay. This could be reaching in another way, but John Travolta's character, Vincent, he was a guy. I mean, they weren't the standard typical, morals, but he had his own code, his own personal morals code. And when little things happened, he just flew off the handle about it. It's like, you just don't do that. There's a principle. Like I was saying with John Ruth, he has his own morals and codes.
Okay.
So, that would be one. Another one, would be, well, it's not Pulp Fiction. I'm going to think of that, but I don't know if you noticed it, but in Reservoir Dogs, there's a connection I think is more of an inside joke. In Reservoir Dogs, Tim Roth's character gets shot in the gut. What happens to Tim Roth's character in The Hateful Eight? And he's on the chair. He's got shot in the gut. So that's another similarity. I feel like that's more of an inside joke for the fans. Because even the way Tim Roth, when he was talking in the chair, he's even, after actually when he got shot, it's like he looked down, he's like, I got shot again in the gut. Son of a bitch, I just got shot in the gut again. And he's just in the chair like, look, we saw Reservoir Dogs. My character dies. If it wasn't from getting shot in the head by Mr. Brown, it's because of this wound. So I'm going to die. I'm like, the way he was saying that, I mean, that could be reaching, but I get what you mean. There's a lot of connections from his old movies. Yeah. From the movies he's done in the past.
I thought about that long and hard because, he's, I wouldn't say starting to have a signature. He's been around way too long to start to have a signature.
Oh, he has a signature, yeah.
Yeah, but it's more prevalent, at least for me.
What you're saying is this movie is like, we know what we're going into, style, not story-wise, but style and feel. Visually. We know.
Yeah, actually.
And now we really know what to expect, what left field means.
Dude, I really didn't.
By the way, I was laughing because I wanted to see your reaction. Because when I saw it the first time, everyone in the audience was like, what? And I was like just dying from that. And then what he was saying, I was laughing hard. This time I was laughing because I just wanted to know what your reaction was. And you're like, that's not funny. That's just not funny.
No, man. And
when you see the movie, we're not spoiling that one. You got to see it for that one because that's something you really need to listen to and see because you see and hear it all.
Well, okay. So you saw it in the 70 millimeter.
Okay.
And you got this little cool, nifty,
Yeah, when you see it for the road show in the 70 millimeter, they give you an actual playbill, a fancy, nice size. That's bigger than a normal playbill, huh?
Why don't you talk about it?
So in this playbill, for what I got, and I don't believe they're doing the road show still now because we went back to the same location where they had it, and they weren't doing it anymore. But if you have a chance, go see it. It's a cool little playbill. They give you some shots, stills of the movie, and some little behind-the-scenes stuff. They give you a list of the cast, the actors, who they played, and then which each one's not most famous quote, but like the quote that kind of stands out for them. For like example, for John Ruth, he says, his quote in this playbill is, "I want us to work out a signal system of communication. Like when I elbow you really hard in the face, that means shut up." This to really get a hold of the character. And then it goes from that to how the script went, because as I don't know if anyone's followed this for the beginning of the Hateful Eight, but we all remember the script leak that happened that almost basically led to this movie being shelved and never even being filmed.
What?
Yeah, there was a script leak. And that's why he got mad and he's like, well, I guess it's going on the shelf now. But now, thankfully, he was able to, he actually finished it. So there was a moment where this movie, we would never have seen this movie, just heard of it by name.
Isn't that kind of interesting with movies? Like, it's nothing short of a miracle to see a movie get played out because there's so many things that go into a movie and how it is developed.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many movies that are in the Writers Guild that won't ever be seen.
Mm-hmm. You just hear about it through dialogue, conversations, even at most.
Yeah.
And then another part they do is they go into the roadshow feel, which it talks about basically what I was saying, like the way, for example, the opening credits were. The opening credits were the same as from the roadshow and from this one, but when you go to the roadshow, you get no trailers. There's an overture, movie, intermission, movie, end. There's no commercials, just an overture. And an overture, if anyone doesn't know, is basically like it's like you walk in and it's just music playing. Music playing, this grand feel to make it feel like an event. Mostly makes it feel like maybe I should have put on a suit for tonight, kind of feel, like that feel. And so it's basically going back to the road shows that were like the gold standard of a road show was like Lawrence of Arabia, Gone with the Wind, Cleopatra, Battle of the Bulge, the Ten Commandments, Ben Hur. And so for Hateful Eight, it's just paying homage to that and bringing it back to the roots of film. That's what Tarantino really wanted to do with this movie. He wanted to bring it back to the roots of what made film, an event. Like when you go to the play or a Broadway show, you dress up nicely. You almost take the day off to go to this event, and this one he wanted to make it that feel because nowadays, and for most of the time, I'd say probably starting during the 70s or 80s, you just go to a movie, eat popcorn, watch some trailers, that's it. Instead of like you dress up, you go, you're in the lobby for a little bit talking to whoever you're with or anyone. You go in, you take a while, you sit your seat, and there's still music playing, and it's this performance, and then it starts. Then you get an intermission, take a break, go to the restroom, get some snacks. You go back in, finish it up, and you leave. Maybe you spend some time in the lobby a little bit afterwards, talking like, "Oh my gosh, it blew my mind," or maybe I didn't like that. You know what? I think this was the worst work yet, and then you go home. Nowadays, movies, we sit, boom, done. But when I went to go see it, there was an intermission. It was a different feel. I was like, yeah, this is an intermission. This is an intermission during a theater. Because most of the time when I see an intermission for a movie, it's when I'm at home rewatching 2001 Space Odyssey or Gone with the Wind. You get that intermission, so you go, okay, go to the bathroom, come back. For this one, like, no, you walk down the steps, exit to the lobby, refill your popcorn, go to the bathroom, go back, walk up the steps, sit, wait for it to over, go. So that was cool when you go to the roadshow experience. So if it's still out there, I really recommend everyone going to it because it's a good feeling. It's a little longer, not by much because this one doesn't show trailers, but it's just a little bit longer to do that intermission and overture.
Would you feel like I'm getting off topic? Would you feel like that special annuity of like an event, as far as movies go, it's kind of gone?
Yeah. I mean, when was the last time this happened?
Oh, roadshow? Oh, please.
Like I can't even remember hearing of something like this.
The closest thing you're gonna get is a drive-in.
And how many are those left?
There's like, what, 4 or 5?
Yeah, so I think that old style feeling is gone because
it's old.
I mean, films are definitely getting better in quality in different ways. Like the close-up shots are different.
Now you shoot digital.
True. This was actually all filmed, I believe, with film. Yeah, 70mm film. This is film. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, we all know how much film is now.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I think...
You wanted to go authentic.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, it is. I mean, it kind of sucks when you think about it because there's no, like... Here's actually, you know what? It's like, you're watching a movie and you can sometimes get lost in the movie where you forget, oh, it's not a movie, but there's no that feel of, like, that almost stage feel where it's like a grand thing where it's like, yes, they're not on an actual stage of wood and painted, but like the setting is actually a stage. You get what I mean? Because like, okay, I just made an example about Tombstone connecting Kurt Russell's 2 characters. In Tombstone, I definitely feel this stage feel of like this town is set like a stage with the way people are cheating out, the way people are walking away, like their cues. It's like you enter, you exit, you leave, all this stage left feel. Most movies don't have that. It's more like they're moving in rooms, kind of like how, yes, we do in everyday life, but that's probably the feel that's gone, that little magic gone away, where it's like stuff, where it's like not that stage. Which is, for some movies I understand, like, okay, for like an action movie, yeah, it's going to definitely be different. But some movies do have that feel, and this movie had that stage feel of like they're walking around this one stage. Yes, they weren't staying like in one angle. They were moving around the whole place with different angles. You got a roof angle. You see that roof angle, which was cool. You saw stuff on the roof.
Oh,
You got an under angle, a side angle, but you knew they were on one stage.
that kind of messed me up, actually. Again, kind of things that took me out of frame. The roof angle, I was like, what, is there someone that's going to jump down and like kill someone? Or
Oh, okay. So what was the point of it?
Yeah, that roof, like I said, a lot of his stuff, Quentin Tarantino, it's very easy for him to do something that looks appealing to him, but takes me right out of the film.
Well, you're probably not the only one too, though.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, but I get what you mean by that. Like when a shot's set up, you're like, oh, what's the purpose? Like you're looking for the purpose, and that's like, oh, it was just interesting angle. You expected something to happen.
Well, then again, man, I mean that opening, you saw it as paying an homage.
Oh, the opening credits.
I saw it as, okay, what's today's calendar move? It was...
Why are we looking at Jesus on the cross right now with snow on him?
The only time Jesus was actually brought up was in one moment. Oh, now you know Jesus.
Oh, gosh, that was great. Y'all about to meet him soon, bitch.
Yeah, that was the only time that Jesus was brought up. And, if we're going to talk, heaven and hell, that was only brought up twice. Once when just what we talked about, oh, now you believe in Jesus. And the other time when I thought it was actually, by the way, this is a clap to Kurt Russell because he played his death very, very, very well. And she goes, when you go to hell, tell him Daisy sent you.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the only two times that...
So would you say then, since you're bringing that up, that the haberdashery could have represented purgatory?
Okay.
Because they're waiting for the storm to end?
Yeah.
They have to sit there and wait. They're stuck there. So would you... To go further with what you're saying than the minis have...
That's not even reaching. That's
No, I said going further.
No, I'm saying what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with what you're saying, that's pretty on point.
And that was Tarantino's version of purgatory. A little more graphic, not as dull as we all think.
It's could absolutely be.
I'm not drinking coffee in purgatory then. I'm not drinking coffee.
Well, then we have to go into now that you bring and elaborate that up. Let's go with it, man. Okay, who? Everyone has to represent something.
OB is the Grim Reaper, bringing people into the haberdashery. Oh, actually, no. But he's not the only Grim Reaper. There's just going into it. There's actually multiple deaths, Grim Reapers, because as we see how the earlier days set up, there's another stagecoach rider bringing another group of people to purgatory. So it could say that the carriage and everything is like those, like in Greece, they say the boats that bring you to heaven or hell, the stairway, the escalator, whatever versions that you enter whatever afterlife, good or bad. In the Old West, it's a stagecoach, and the stagecoach rider is the Grim Reaper.
Well, his death was definitely
over. He did die.
No, but I'm saying, a Grim Reaper could pose as a person, and then how he leaves because he fulfilled his job to get everyone there. He leaves the body that he was in. So
his job's done. Oh, his job.
Yeah, like how he didn't talk that much.
And that says the Grim Reaper can be replaced still, and there can be multiples if need be.
Well, I don't even mean it in that sense. I don't mean it like that. Okay. So, what was Obi doing most of the time? Outside.
Taking care of his ride. Taking care of the people, getting everything, taking care of purgatory.
Yeah, it was, Obi, go throw these guns away. Why? Because I kind of sort of trust you.
Set up the spikes.
Yeah.
Take the horses.
Yeah. So he spent the majority of the film outside or dead. Yeah. He spent a lot of the film
doing chores.
Yeah. And it wasn't looked like, taking care of purgatory. I don't look at it like that.
Well, because the stakes. I was thinking just the stakes.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I look at it as he spent more time off camera. So he did his job as the Reaper in this sense that we're looking at as in the stagecoach. He got them there. Okay, I just need to see
Do
that
some final touch-ups.
I need to see that my job comes to a fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I'm done, I'm going to take the poison coffee, just like everyone else, and go.
And that's my way of going out.
And I'm done.
Okay.
Now I'm going to my next vessel, my next body.
To bring the next group.
Yeah. Because Obi really wasn't, he probably only had, 40 lines? Maybe?
I feel like that's reaching.
Maybe.
Okay, I like that.
In that sense.
I like how, okay, since we're going into this, yeah, he would be definitely the people, okay, then who would everyone else be, if you think?
See, that's tricky. That's tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, who would, so let's make it easier.
Okay. No, let's do it. No, let's do it, man. I want to go
on every character. Okay, so who would then John Ruth and Daisy be? Because they're chained together. She's obviously led, like, she's the bad guy, he's the bounty hunter. Not like a man of the law, just a bounty hunter. So who would they represent in this,
I could easily say that Daisy is the devil in a sense, representing hell.
Wouldn't Jody be?
Why would Jody be?
Where's Jody hiding?
See, and that's what I was going to bring up.
Not Judy, Jody, yeah.
So,
Jody.
Who's the one? I would say Jody is actually the devil, and Daisy is the queen of hell. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it makes sense, yeah.
Okay, because Daisy...
Because that relationship, actually, since you said queen, that looked a little incesty. Because...
Hey, dumbass.
Oh, hey, dummy.
Yeah, hey, dummy.
Look at your ugly face. And then he says he probably has a pistol pointed at my sister's belly. When you didn't say stomach, he didn't say gut, he said belly. When a dude says belly about a woman, I'm like, okay, pregnant. That's what I was like. I was like, okay, she's pregnant. Can't wait to see that. But right? Like, when we talk about, like, her belly, like, you don't say her stomach got big, her belly's growing. Like, right? So I felt
you really had to point me in that direction.
I saw that.
Yeah. No, it's our first one.
Hey, after the left field moment, that's why I'm like, oh, cool. Let's go more left field. Let's just go. It's not a ballpark here.
No, it's true. It's
but okay, so she would be the queen of hell.
And I say that because she rules it
after he. Oh yeah.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited.
I know. But she hands out all the deals. She literally says, take this deal. And then...
So then, actually, she would be the devil, and then Jody would be more of the right hand.
No.
Okay, no? Oh.
Because this whole entire setup, this movie wouldn't be a movie without the purpose of setting up this false stage. Because remember, every character in this stage is false.
Okay.
Without Jody putting on this whole entire thing to save his sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm the devil. I have created hell, essentially.
Okay, yeah.
I've created this hell,
mm-hmm.
Okay? Hell is below purgatory. We're at purgatory. So he's tried to makeshift purgatory into something else. The queen is coming in. He treats her as royalty. I've put you in charge. Once I'm dead... You get to rule over the gang and make every decision.
Okay.
She hands out all the deals. So she was like a demon to the owner of hell.
Right.
And then she became queen. She went up the royalty, corporate ladder. But, she literally says to freaking, Mannix, here's the deal.
Right from the...
Yeah. Crossroads demon.
Okay.
This is the crossroads. You kill him, you get the deal. That's how I looked at her, at least as that.
Okay, no, since we're going with this, all right. I get what you mean, because you know what? We are right, Jody should be, because he's the one who was able to seduce the people in the haberdashery beforehand with being able to speak multiple languages, and everything like that. Okay, you're right. Jody's, okay.
And then General, I loved how he convinced General Sandy.
To help him out.
You're gonna only say a couple things. Thank you, good night, and maybe a name. Be Dottie. You know, he has that seduction of biblical Lucifer.
And he's able to seduce someone older and of higher ranking and higher everything than him.
Someone who's seen everything. But yeah.
Who's seen hundreds of bodies die.
Yeah.
So you're right. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I say that.
So then who would Sandy be? Who would the general be in purgatory?
The gatekeeper.
No, gatekeeper. Could he be the everyman? Because he's kind of thrown into it?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I feel like he's like a lost soul that's just like walked purgatory so much, and they use him often.
Because they even say like at the beginning,
he's a lost soul.
No, at the beginning he said he's been here for 2 days. Get rid of him. Like he's just there.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a lost soul.
I would almost refer it back to, and again, I'm sorry I'm getting off topic here, but I would refer it back to Hemingway with the bright light and dim light poem. Mm-hmm. There was a dim light, guy in a corner just drinking his booze, who's blind, who's just seen every war, who's just, doesn't want to talk to anyone. Mm-hmm. That's him.
Okay.
And he's just that lost soul in purgatory. All right, whatever. I'll just sway this way. Okay. You want me to be Dottie? Okay. That's fine.
Okay, so we have that. Yeah. Now let's focus on. Oh, well, actually, before we overlook it, because there's a pairing. Who is John Ruth?
Yeah, you said that earlier, and I was trying to find that out, but
because him and Warren, they're almost similar, but they're different. They're distinguished, but they're similar.
I feel like they're like fallen angels because they're bounty hunters. So
because they can't be lawmen, so they go to the second best thing.
Yeah, and they're not accepted to the gates of heaven. They've fallen from grace, so they're in purgatory.
To them, a fallen angel, Earth would be purgatory. This is purgatory.
Yeah, and a fallen angel is a bounty hunter.
So they're the fallen angels.
Yeah.
All right, and then now who is the rest of the? Okay, first who's the sheriff? Before we get to the last three.
Man, help me out here with this one.
Would he be angel in waiting, like about to be an angel? Because the sheriff, he's going to be a lawman.
He doesn't know it.
No, he knows he's going to be a lawman.
No. I'm saying he doesn't know it, but yeah, in the angel sense. Yeah. Okay.
He's getting his wings.
He's in wings in training.
Yeah, and especially after what he's done, because yes, he was fighting for his cause, but it still wasn't. It wasn't a good cause overall, just killing black people.
Yeah.
But he got a chance, I guess, at redemption. Shoot, would he be? I mean, this could be reaching. Would he be Dante from Dante's Inferno? Like, going up, being able to get up.
Yeah, that's not reaching. That's pretty good.
It's okay. So we got.
I like that.
So we have our Dante, and now the rest of the Dominion gang. We have Oswaldo, Bob, and Joe. Or where the fuck his name is.
Even better yet, the Mexican.
Bob. Who would Bob be?
I think
the Cyclops. I'm sorry, I was saying Greek. I don't know why I went that. Because he's so like. I know. Who would Bob be?
I feel like he's just another dealer. Just another demon.
A lesser demon.
Yeah. He's the pawn. He's definitely a pawn.
He's a ghoul. It's a lesser demon. Okay. Yeah, and then but then Oswaldo, because he fills the room more with his thespian craft. What would he be? Is he still a demon? Like what type of demon?
Well, I mean, he's the hangman, man. When he said he's the hangman, he's the hangman.
So then
the hangman shows who he is, doesn't hide it.
So who's that in hell? Who are in the afterlife?
No, at this point, it's just a different type of demon. Like those three really don't have a defining role. They're just demons that were able to get.
One just presents himself
as I am this.
One is in the background, just say, "Get away from me!" Call me a liar. No. Sorry, are you calling me a liar? Like, what would you say, Bob?
No, he's a follower. They're all those three are the followers. Right. But they all have a specific job. I deceive. I show truth with deceiving, which is interesting. I'm going to show you who I am, but at the same time, I'm lying.
That's who Oswaldo is, and then Bob is just...
I do what I'm told.
And then Joe.
Interesting.
Because he gives a lot of I mean, even though he's lying when he says like I'm there to see my mother for Christmas, he gives a lot more. He makes up a lot than what really needs to happen. Like he does he does the extra credit. He does the harder work.
He doesn't die for a while. I can almost call him. He's a scribe. He writes the story.
Would he? Oh, because he's writing his.
He's a scribe.
Who's that one character in Dante's Inferno? Virgil. There's Virgil, like writing the story. Okay, I haven't read it. I'm trying to remember what I've heard about so far. Virgil. I think Virgil was a scribe. Like he wrote something. Like Virgil was a writer. No, but I'm saying Virgil's a writer, so he's like Virgil. It's like there's a Dante. There's probably most likely a Virgil. So then Joe would be a Virgil because he says I'm writing my memoir. Am I it? You just entered it.
He's the closest thing we got to a narrator.
Damn.
And what's up with Major?
We said it.
What?
Fallen angel. Him and these two are fallen angels.
Yeah.
Ruth and Warren are the fallen angels. Now, specifically, that's going way more into like which fallen angels they are, but they are fallen angels in the story.
And what's funny is that the characters that actually fell to their deaths earlier are the only humans involved.
Oh, in the earlier day of the haberdashery?
Yeah, the ones who own it. Yeah, those were the only humans.
The worker. Yeah, they were just.
Those were the only
innocent souls.
Yeah.
Wow.
On their way to the deaths, and
this was
It was a little deep, man.
That's great though. How it. Oh yeah.
So we have our Reapers, we have our humans.
The Reapers we have we see two Reapers, but there's the main Reaper.
Yeah.
We have the group of humans, the innocent souls. We have our fallen angels. We have the devil and his queen. We have the followers, the demons, the lesser demons, or Joe could be almost Virgil. We have our Dante, and then we have our lost soul.
So we got a lost soul, a scribe, two demons, the queen,
Dante, fallen angels, and then the devil.
Well, okay, so for people who don't know who Dante is, because not everyone has read Dante's Inferno.
I haven't read it yet, but what I've heard from it, and why I say it, because what the Divine Comedy is Dante traveling from hell all the way up to heaven. And what I'm just taking from that, this guy was in hell. His hell was being that renegade army, just killing black people, emancipated blacks. That's all he was doing. And then he's at Purgatory, and then he gets a chance to be a sheriff, do some good, where he'll have to protect and defend blacks with the law. Mm-hmm. That's against him. But he's given a chance of redemption, and that's him going back way up to heaven. I just thought Dante is traveling from hell up to heaven.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
That's why I said he's Dante.
Yeah, I think that you have that pretty on point there.
Definitely what you said about the bounty hunters was great, because there wouldn't be anything else.
Yeah, they can't be anything else, man. And I loved actually. So let's go back to the film as just watching it.
Okay.
I do like Smithers again because he does look like a lost soul. Whether we see this in the biblical sense or not, he is a lost soul.
Because
he's said, "Be dog,"
and he doesn't even move. He just sits in the chair. He never moves.
The most movement is when he gets the gun.
Yeah.
And he gets shot.
Or puts the blanket over him.
Yeah. You want some tea? Oh my gosh. When freaking Chris Maddox saw him.
Oh, like a little schoolgirl.
Do you want... As a matter of fact, here's my blanket.
Ooh! Can I say, is that you? The way he turns his head every time. Is that you?
Cut off my legs and call me Shorty.
You leave that man alone. You leave him alone. Hey, that stew looked good.
It actually did.
That was some good stew.
I bet they got it off the truck.
Oh, I bet everyone, even during between takes, even the crew was like, "I got some stew for us." Because the way they're eating it, I'm like, yeah, that'd fill me up for the night.
Mm-hmm.
With coffee, you don't even need dessert. You don't even need dessert.
I wouldn't even mess with the coffee, man. After seeing what happened.
No, yeah, but beforehand.
With the poison, I'm like,
and that was they just were like,
dude, what was up with that?
It caused internal bleeding, basically.
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw that.
Trust me, I know from experience. that sucks.
And
Throwing up
bleeding?
blood. Yeah, throwing up blood and everything, it sucks. And that's exactly how it looks.
Oh, man.
There's a spray effect. It shoots out like a rocket. Yeah, it sucks. I wouldn't have the strength to do what he does with a last, like, and beats the crap out of her. But yeah,
Dude, he knocks her
it
good,
tears you up inside. It's literally like they just putting a blender down your throat and just turning it on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's the connect. I knew, like, yeah, that's why I was like, oh yeah.
His last moments are.
I just hit him, and then he looks at him and he's like, damn it.
And then she shoots him.
And I like how that character gets just not more injured, just more covered in blood.
Her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Or it becomes
Daisy.
Yeah, Daisy. I just like that in her hair. Just she's like fixing her hair so much a lot. As you see from the beginning, she scratches her head, does that, and then she moves her hair more. Then she tries to get more of the blood out, the stew out, everything, and then it comes to chunks.
He does throw
and you know what?
the freaking stew at her.
Since
he
we talked
her like crap.
Mm-hmm. And since that was funny. We just put this, and that's hot stew, and she was still able to laugh. But actually, since you brought up connections, Pulp Fiction connection, I just realized what it was.
Okay.
Remember what happened to Marvin in the car, and what gets all over the characters? Brain matter. What gets all over Daisy? Brain matter. So that's another connection.
Yeah.
Small ones. They're not big. They're just small connections from his other movies.
Yeah, but they're noticeable.
Oh yeah, but that was the other Pulp Fiction one.
Yeah, and I thought it was quite interesting. Now that we were labeling the characters in more of a symbolic sense, that Oswaldo, he was such a talker,
Yeah. Oh, from the get go.
I feel like in their whole entire gang, he is the one that gets them out of things before they have to fight.
He talks them out.
He talks them out of it.
He talks the group down. He's able to.
Yeah. Before we do anything, why don't we split the room up into the southern side and
the northern side.
And the northern side, and this side is
the fireplace is
Georgia. Yeah, and
the
bar is Philadelphia.
As long as it's Philadelphia, I'm alright with that.
That was so funny, man.
But yeah, you know what? Yeah, so you know what? Overall, you know what? Since we went more deeper into this made this movie, to me, have more weight now. More because when I first saw this movie, this is what I said, and I know this is saying a lot. And it's like, damn, that's wow. To me, this script-wise, this is Tarantino's best script. I'm talking, it beats everything script-wise. Pulp Fiction too, because of how deep we got into this. And this was all from the script, not from just watching the movie and seeing how it's set up. No, this was written in the script. So I think this gave this movie more weight, and I think this is his best script ever written. And how we went into it, but with the symbolical nature. Who knows if that was in his head? It wouldn't surprise me because of the method to his madness. This guy's always ahead of the curve, just thinking, well, ahead of left field.
He's going at a freaking 45-degree angle, but somehow still at a 90.
I think this is why it's his best script, and I can still watch it even though it's a dialogue-heavy movie. The action doesn't happen until later on, really. This is definitely his best script, and I love this movie. It makes me now want to watch it again and go into it just thinking about the fallen angels, the demons, the queen of hell, the devil, the lost soul, Dante, the scribe. It makes me want, and then the Grim Reaper. It makes me want to go into that and just think of that only while watching the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Your last thoughts?
I liked that this movie had so many monologues. I appreciated that. I liked how some of the camera angles define those monologues. And I think I would not mind seeing it again. It was actually really, really tasteful and good. And there was a lot of acting.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't even acting like you said.
No, I'm just saying, that was just defining. So.
And also, too, like I always I've asked everyone, do you think this could stand the test of time? Could this be a classic? And when we're old, no? You don't think? No.
Sorry. I would go see it again, but I don't think it stands the test of time.
Okay.
Yeah. Training Day.
All right. Well, that wraps us up here for this episode. We really went deep here this time. It was good. Thanks again for joining us. By the way, really, thank you. We're here for you guys. This is why we're doing this, because we all love movies.
I mean, Tom couldn't have said it best. I mean, we really are here for you guys. This was a great one. So we hope to see you next time. And please, please, we're sending the love all the way, all the way. This is just for you guys. All right. So this is Alexander Morris.
And this is Tom Flores. This is Combo number 2. Catch you on the next time. Bye.
Bye.